Clap it. What's up? What's up? Oh man. Look, okay. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your information, your social security number, your address, probably even a few bank account numbers, it's out there. It's out there, it's in the wind, and what else is new? If you have clicked on a link you probably shouldn't have, if you are a person that watches Netflix, Disney Plus, if you had AT&T, T-Mobile, literally if you have a cell phone, your information is out on the internet. And while we spend a lot of time in this world talking about margins and errors and business and money and jobs, we could really use some beefy support. You feel me? We could really use some support in trying to maintain and keep our security safe online, because it's not. It's really not. And let's not pretend.
Let's not stand on ceremony here.
Let's not pretend that there's anything you can really do to combat these issues unless it comes from a uniformed body. And it'd be super useful if maybe there was an entity that we as a collective paid to enforce rules and regulations on bodies that interact with us consensually, but should be obligated to protecting us. If only there was a uniformed body of people, men and women, in a House or a Senate that we pay, something called taxes to take care of this for us. But for some strange reason, the same people we pay taxes can also be paid by the same people that steal from us. It's called the price of doing business. Them taking shortcuts and making risky and taking risk with our information is part of their annual budget. They know how much money they're going to have to write off to the FTC every year. It's okay. But what does this mean for us in the long run? And what does your identity become when you're not in charge of your identity anymore? Furthermore, what is happening to people who have their identities compromised and seem to have their life thrown into turmoil because of it? Let's find out. Check now. Was your social security number exposed in a huge data leak? The answer is yes. By now, you've heard about the massive hack that revealed nearly 3 billion records. That number has increased from 2 billion when I read it yesterday. The worst part is it also contains social security numbers. So how do you know your information is included in the data that is making its way around the dark web? These questions and things this website is very superficial. I picked this local news network on purpose because I want to show how the news just captivates people. The dark web. Motherfucker. Anybody can. It's not just the dark web. Anybody can use your shit now. The smart folks at cybersecurity firm Pen Testers have compiled the database and made it searchable in seconds. No easy feat. Enter your name, state, year, birth here, and search will instantly look for your information and info in the billions of records leaked online in a massive data breach. This search is free. So this is the search. For some strange reason, I don't even trust this. I don't even trust this. But once again, they're trying to basically minimize their risk, because if your information is found here and you put your name into here, what will happen to you is you'll immediately get an email or a letter in the mail trying to settle your case so you cannot be part of the class action lawsuit. Even the people claiming to help you are still trying to fuck you. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing how people who want to help you can't help but try and wiggle those fingers. Didn't even spit on it. It's crazy. So what to do if your social security number has been compromised? Some dude named Ryan, founder of Pentester, told me you should freeze your credit report. Follow these tech tip reports and things like that. We'll get a little bit more into depth, but I think we need to take a deeper dive into exactly what this is. The Washington Post put out information about this, and they kind of have the vibe that I have. Hearing about the leak of social security numbers, don't panic. It's hard for me to care about this because I'm here to tell you, if my shit was compromised, and it's probably not because they probably look at my shit and see this motherfucker got $300,000 of debt. Nah, he's already fucked. Next person. Next person. Well, we can't help him because the first thing I'm gonna do is dispute that credit. Like, I didn't do that. Somebody else did that. That person put $300,000 of credit on my shit, debt on my shit. I like the steps that they give here are a lot more in tune. So freeze your credit. Obviously, you can go to and don't be fooled. There are 3 credit bureaus you would have to freeze your credit with: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You would have to go reach out to all 3 of them to freeze all 3 of your credits. That's the one thing. Turn on 2-factor authentication. Every app you are using, you should absolutely have 2-factor authentication. Every night around 3 a.m., some dude in India is trying to get into my Microsoft account, and it sends me to 2-factor authentication, and I love the message at the end. Someone probably put in the wrong email address, and I just think to myself, for the 900th time, it's crazy, but it is well worth its weight in gold. And I know it's a hassle, and they've made it a little bit easier now because it used to be kind of a hassle, especially now that, like, if you do 2-factor authentication and you click the button on your phone and the number auto populates. I mean, chef's kiss. Great work. Well done. Well done. Consider dark web monitoring. I would not recommend this. Data brokers collect details about individuals to build profiles. They sell advertisers and even law enforcement. If your social security number turned up in the broker database, it would be hard to hunt down on your own. You can sign up for a service that monitors the web for your personal info and sends removal requests on your behalf. Yeah, but guess what? Why do I have to pay for it? Why do I have to pay for someone fucking up something I didn't do? You see how the system just isn't designed to make it easier. So you find out your shit has been stolen. You're trying to get your life back in order, and you're being put up with the bill. Why can't I go and sue AT&T for causing this nightmare? Like, one time, my friend got robbed at gunpoint. And as he was being robbed at gunpoint, he was giving up his wallet, giving up his watch. He was about to give up his shoes. But as the robber was walking away, he said, "Sir, Mr. Gunman, with all due respect, I appreciate your hustle, but can I at least have my driver's license, my insurance card, and and whatever else, my driver's insurance, because those things literally are the only way that anyone will be able to identify me." And the robber gave it to him. Clap it up. Hey, you got caught slipping. No one told you to walk down that dark alleyway. But for the love of everything that's good, do you know how hard it is to go to the DMV without any other form of identification? They're gonna laugh at you. You'll be there for 1,500,000 hours in one day. Shout out to the robbers that take your money but not your soul. Revisit your password hygiene. Cycling your passwords is another thing. It's a nuisance, but they are like Google passwords and things like that that can help make this a little bit easier. Password management is always easy. Don't use the same passwords for everything, please. Don't forget about visibility. If you don't mind making your social media account private, doing so can cut down on the personal information. Criminals can access a bunch of public information. That's really how a lot of people scour the internet. They get a person's account, and then through osmosis, they find other people. That's just really how it is. Delete accounts you don't use. The other day, I got an email notification from Foursquare. What is Foursquare? Foursquare was an app back in the day that you could use to clock in to show that you were at these locations. I used it while I was in college, on college campus, to show that I was at these events so that I could get a free hot dog at the fucking basketball game because I checked in at Foursquare. And it gave me a notification today to say, hey, it's been 10 years. Do you want us to delete or keep your information? No, delete everything. Why haven't you deleted it yet? And I think there needs to be a law that's put in place like saying, yo, after 2 years, if there's been no activity, delete my shit. I signed up because I wanted to get whatever free thing I wanted to get. I got the free thing, delete my shit. And I love the new bill that's coming through Congress that's going to let motherfuckers delete gym memberships with one press of the button. Great. But how many data breaches have there been? Well, in the first half of the year, there was 1,571 data breaches reported in the first half of 2024. That is a 14% increase compared to the same period just last year, 2023. Also set a record for data events reported in a single year, 3,203. So how close are we to breaking the record for next year? 2024, we have marked a turning point in cybersecurity with more data breaches reported worldwide than ever. The last numbers shown that hackers have exposed 6,845,908,997 known records, which equals out to 2,741 reported incidents, highlighting how big the problem has become compared for companies trying to keep sensitive information safe. And that is as of May. You feel me? So you want to know what you guys should be doing if you're looking for a job? You should be looking for some data security jobs, because it's on the rise. Database admins see brighter job prospects amid IT challenges. The field of database administration is far from glamorous, even within the uncompromisingly geeky domain of the information technology. Database administration would be among the last fields picked for game of proverbial kickball. They would be picked last for kickball. That's crazy. But it's on the up and up. And as it continues to get on the up and up, because of these breaches, we're going to see a lot more people paying a lot more attention to it. So if you're looking for a prospect of a way to get into tech, this is one way you could do it. But that's neither here or there. So what are my thoughts on this? Why haven't I put my name into that search database to check and see how? Well, one is because I have $300,000 of debt. If you want to change that, there's a Patreon link. There's a sub link. Donate. I would like to buy a house before I'm 50. That'd be great. But ideally, it's because even with the amount of credit reporting bureaus that I'm part of, so I do have 2 services that notify me whenever my information has been in a breach, and they do take care of that. So I can nonchalantly say that I do have my ass covered. But there's also a part of me that feels like I hope somebody finds my shit and deletes it all. I would love to start off with no debt again. But you have to be able to understand that the way technology is moving now, data breaches are just part of the norm. And until the laws reflect a consequence that is detrimental and not considered a business expense to companies, we're not going to see any changes here. Furthermore, that doesn't stop my empathy from going out to people who aren't prepared for these situations. It is truly a headache or a nightmare to have your identity be stolen. Because imagine we heard about the story about the man who swore up and down he was who he was, but they sent him to a psych ward because they didn't think he was who he was, and he was who he was. So imagine trying to prove to people who you are with your credit report showing that your identity's been stolen, having to explain that, the amount of documentations, the paperwork, and for the most minute things, signing up for gym memberships, applying for jobs, all of these things get hit and seen as a red flag whenever you do a background check. And I know some jobs who don't even check to see what the red flag is. It could be your Dr. Kid Inspect, or your identity was stolen and you need to double confirm the person you're talking to. You're both flagged at the same rate. And because the system isn't designed to help people like that, they fall through the cracks and their lives are ruined. So this can't continue to be the situation. This can't continue to be the element. I'm eager to know what you guys think about this. I really enjoyed this topic, but data security has to be at the forefront of everything we do moving forward. You have to put it at the forefront of everything you're doing. It's easy for me to say as an adult now, but especially for young people, the sooner they get online, the sooner it is for someone to be able to manipulate their identity. And we can't have that. And especially with the rise of AI and what people can do with voice commands and things like that, it's truly terrifying. It's truly terrifying. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate y'all. All right, we done over here. Hey, look out, T.